Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Kaeya main Chronicles video. I accidentally hit my mice. Oh my gosh, my mouse, causing it to go up to the side. So we're gonna go see Nuevillette now. Last what happened was that Navia fell. She almost fell into primordial seawater, but she didn't. Luckily, we got her back. We saw our last appearance of Melucin Silver, who protected her. Even to the very end. Actually, to about basically the afterlife, they still protected her. Then we asked Mona if we can meet her master, who might be able to see the future, because we ended up in the ruins. We found murals depicting what would be in the future. So, you know, we were finding someone who can also do that, which Mona said her master will help us.
You're here! Finally!
What happened?
Is something wrong? Monsieur Nuevillette and Lady Furina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Why are they fighting? Oh yes, Nuevillette went to go ask Furina about the murals on the wall.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Possoin incident.
You mean
They're all dead, Furina.
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Possoin. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Furina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries.
Alright, the Melazine said that they're fighting. This doesn't seem this doesn't seem like a fight. It just seems like a kind of a disagreement or misinformation, miscommunication thing. This isn't really fighting.
You have never
That's what I
been
wanted
as
to say.
superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Furina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
Oh my god. She seems to be deliberately hiding something. I wonder what it could be.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Yep. Wonder if it's about the prophecy.
Seems Furina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to.
Alright, well then we'll do that.
Have
We'll
to
force her
create a
to.
situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
We're gonna put the Hydro Archon on trial.
Furina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
In that case, we will help. We will need help.
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I think I know who to call. Who are we calling? A few days later, on a boat somewhere in quiet Possoin. Oh, Possoin. We're going to talk to Navia. Poisson. Every time they say Poisson, it reminds me of a croissant. Like croissant. Probably about the same how you say it anyway,
Well,
so.
That's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people.
Oh,
That
the House of the
naturally makes it
Hearth.
the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time
So,
together.
we're gonna be working with Arlecchino. Well,
It's nice to enjoy
Linny,
tea here,
Lin-
you know?
Lynette,
Care for a
Linny,
cup?
and Fremine?
Lend me your
No?
ears,
Okay,
everyone.
Navia.
Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling in the House of the Hearth.
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
Oh,
That was
there's
a little
Clorand.
long-winded, don't you think?
Oh,
So they're gonna do
You might be
shots and
right.
everything to
Anyway,
show
to
who's
cut
here
to
and
the
gonna be
chase,
working with
our
us.
friend here, the traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Okay, they are actually clapping.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Yeah, you take it off, girl.
Oh,
I'm
come
handing the mic to
now.
you now.
Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Yeah.
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once
Hey, you're a
used a wooden
cat.
stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare.
Yeah, that won't work for a human.
Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
Why don't the bait be like a...
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Possoin, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yeah, we'll do. The trap will be
Yes,
for
and I even managed to
a
gather
magic
some
trick.
intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Nuevillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting together?
We're hunting the Hydra Archon.
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on
Oh.
trial, then the hunting metaphor
Flag.
is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
So, you Nuevillette?
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
You're the judge. You're always the judge. Floran's Floran's hunting metaphor was just that, a metaphor. You will not call this a hunt, as this is not what you should do at present, nor has the relationship between you and Furina such a dire stage. What you need is simply the secret she is keeping. Attempting to take her secrets is an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but must be done to prevent Fontaine from sinking waters as foretold in the prophecy. There is neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. This is what you will need. Are they gonna tell us, or do I have to still read it out? Oh, okay. Let's go to the Spina de Rosula. Well, the base. I hope Mona pops back up. She's not gonna pop up back up here. Right? Gotta start. Kaeya, can you not? Here we go.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Those meetings sure did make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh?
I mean, we're basically just trying to get a god to spill all their secrets, so.
Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Do you feel more confident after the meetings, Paimon?
Well...
I guess they're not gonna show us. I guess they're not gonna tell, but show us.
Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you?
Is something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't.
Then what's that?
He.
Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Arlecchino? Looks
Don't
about
be
the same.
frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely
Ah,
refrained
Mona's
from
master.
saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one
Is that Mona? Master, or?
Aw, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong.
Oh, that's the okay.
You're feeling
It took me a
lost
second to
now,
remember.
just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Who are you, and what do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Ah, friend's disciple. So this is one of the friends of Mona's masters, the enigmatic N of the Hexenzirkel. Allow me to ask you, will Fontaine's prophecy come true?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed?
There it is again, fate. Can there really be no exceptions?
Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
I think I know what she's saying. So whatever like the gods see, the archons, what they see isn't truly what would be the fate, what would actually happen. It's just from their perspective what they can see, what they think will happen. But from someone else's point of view, it might be totally different. They might be missing out things, only zoning in on the idea of like destruction or like horrible things to come. And yeah, we might be able to see other things that could also like prevent or make sure to I don't know. I guess that's what N is trying to say. That's what it sounds like to me. Tea in the teacup is just about gone as well. Oh great,
I
N
believe
left.
that you
Oh.
understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
So some things we can change, and some other things we can't. Mage N, is this the clue you're leaving for us? The unexpected news leads to complicated feelings. You lay in bed, when you wake up, someone seems outside.
What? I want to hear someone talking. Alright, coming!
You're getting more diligent, Paimon.
Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Hey, I just want to sleep a little bit longer. Oh, hey, Mona.
I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Talking with herself outside? How have you been these past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected.
What happened?
Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Oh, is that Charlotte?
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You remember her, right? That daredevil journalist?
Oh yeah, didn't you guys
I'm in
kind of
full
meet in the
support of her
event?
view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered
Did
by
they?
just a
Or
few words?
I don't think they actually officially met, but she did go to Mondstadt
Paimon's glad to hear
and
something
Liyue
sensible
and
for
Inazuma
once.
and Sumeru.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Actually, someone already came over.
Huh?
Tell Mona about your mysterious guest.
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
I believe she came to pass a message to us.
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexenzirkel members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost.
You know what's funny? Whoever didn't do that event, it wasn't Ballads of Brews, was it? No, of Ballads and Brews, no. I think it was of Ballads and Brews. Whoever didn't get to do that event, because I think they talk about the Hexenzirkel. So, you could, if you didn't do that event, and you only know a little bit, all you can guess is that, you know, just Mona's Master's in it, and there's other people that are powerful in it. But, as a little quick, reminder, the Hexenzirkel is a bunch of powerful, witches. They're basically kind of a coven. Say coven, but more of a group. So there's only about 6 or 8 of them. I think 8. One of them is Alice, Klee's mother. One of them is Rhindaughter, or Gold, which is Albedo's creator. Mona's master is also part of the Hexenzirkel, and there's a few others. But that's all how we know for now, and we get kind of hints more to who is who and everything, but you're not going to get exactly any names from them other than Alice and Rhindaughter, because, you know, you learn about Alice pretty early from Klee mentioning, and everyone else in Knights of Favonius was the one who basically stayed in Mondstadt. Rhindaughter and Gold, if you didn't know, is Albedo's, who created Albedo, so basically kind of like his master in a sense. Originally, it seems that they are kind of from Conria. It's not that confirmed that if they are originally from there, but, you know, their base of headquarters was from Conria, and did make Albedo and everything. So, and the Coven doesn't really talk anymore because one of them fell in love and went off and got married. So they kind of, after that, went their own separate ways. So that's basically a little, I guess, LDR about the Hexenzirkel. Well, the group. I was about to say Hexenzirkels, but I don't know if that's right.
But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa, the Hexenzirkel sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's to stop
it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Well, it's to make sure nobody drowns in Fontaine.
Cryptic,
so.
But I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though. So perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
But it's a start. True, her words were meant as a helpful hint. But when will we realize their value and meaning? Was that the best answer that my question could have gotten?
Traveler, Paimon, are you two alright?
We're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too.
Mona, you'll be fine. You're not from Fontaine.
Someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff... I need to get going.
Don't worry about it, Mona, and thank you.
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said, but also kind of sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go.
Yay, we're gonna go for a walk.
Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
It's above, isn't it? Yeah. Might as well just teleport above for now. So far, all we know is that we've established a plan. We don't know exactly what it is, but it'll probably happen after this. And we got Hexenzirkels. another one of the members. And she's helping us, even though it's really Mona told us that their situation is really and must be dire.
Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
Maybe we're famous.
Let Paimon see. The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it.
Oh,
My
gonna be our
recent
time in the
attempts to
Fortress
enter
of
the
Meripede.
fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blind adventurer with
Oh,
their
okay, never mind.
legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her.
Kinda sounds like
She
stalking.
hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That sure seems to be the case.
Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
You're moving forward. To the Hotel de... Dang it, I forgot the name. It was Hotel something. De Bois? De Booze? I forgot.
Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake!
It hasn't already sold out for the day?
It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great!
Can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please.
We just let someone get ahead of
Someone
us.
showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nuevillette was right. You really can eat.
Wow.
Wait,
That's great.
did he really say something like that?
I mean, he probably didn't mean it in an offensive way.
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today.
That's true.
No.
Being
it's
optimistic.
the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
That's true.
Huh.
Also, do they even get
Don't be
affected by the
sad.
prophecy?
Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I think all Melazines
I
know
sure
each other.
do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
You know, she's
I've
trying.
got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
Aww. Aliens are so adorable. They just try their best to understand humans, and sometimes they get it wrong, but you know, they still try their best.
There she goes. All right, let's dig in. I'm sure this cake will be delicious.
Derek lands with Paimon and snarf down the cake.
It's more delicious than last
Snarf.
time. And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow.
I mean, we
It
can.
would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Leave the hotel de board. Oh, de board. I feel like there's extra to that name, but never mind.
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Sounds like there's some kind of argument going on, you know, the direction of the Steambird's office. Should we take a look? A magazine from the Mirror Show say Phantom. Has something happened at the office? Okay, we're still here.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Yep.
You've got some nerve. You just used us to make some quick Mora.
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh,
I need some of that
worry
Mora.
about that. I heard that you were in Possoin some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Well, it's because Paimon's dumb.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see! It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
No.
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was
She
more
just
like
needs more
live
details.
photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
You seriously want to interview me?
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and... Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, where's my money and food?
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end.
So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
They all kind of grew up with this whole prophecy. So, to them, it just kind of doesn't matter that much. I mean, it does still matter, but they all rather do what they love. Joy. Before any event like that happens. This is their home,
can
so.
be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yes.
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
If I could choose, huh? It's just like Charlotte said. Suddenly, trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Till that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Yes, cherishing every single moment.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
The banter goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. Night falls, return to your accommodation, and end this busy day. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conducts the interview in the Spina de Rosula safe house at the Fleuve Cendré. Navia, having finished her business in Possoin, then drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough.
Jeez, Paimon. That's kinda mean.
But it's still better than the Fortress of Meropide, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Salty air.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nuevillette sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Meropide.
So are you under the impression that we might be wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Did something happen?
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Furina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in.
Oh, this must be the trap
The
that's
crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Furina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree.
Yep.
People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary.
But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
Since they're the ones supposed to be protecting their people, so.
Okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Furina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet.
Ooh-wee, we gotta look for a missing god. Again?
She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I understand the situation.
Good. Monsieur Nuevillette sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Probably gonna have to look for her.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Alright, bye-bye, Isadora. And the plan has been set in motion.
Hurry over to Possoin then.
You sure caught on quickly.
If we know Furina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone.
You're gonna cry.
When Nuevillette was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Possoin, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Furina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Possoin and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh! Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
I see becoming a detective has done you some good. Looks like those oh my gosh. Looks like those detective novels have had an effect on you.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Possoin, here we come!
Yeah, here we come, Possoin, in the next episode. Yep. This, I'm gonna end it here. So far, this whole kind of chapter in this act, I've been kind of just reflecting on and just seeing what people would do in, you know, a disaster that is always pulled throughout, like, you know, the whole lifetime and everything. Just thinking, you know, it's kind of, I guess, Genshin hitting the, we're starting to hit the end game point. Because Fontaine on, I'd say this is probably the point, start getting to the point of end game. So they're probably just gonna start hitting us with the hard-heading, you know, depression stuff and the whole thing of what would you do once this journey's end? Which I don't know if it's trying to build to a sequel or just kind of just, you know, yelling at the players, being like, "Hey, we're getting closer to the end. Don't you feel happy about that?" Which, you know, I do feel happy that the, you know, learning more of the story and the story of Teyvat, but Genshin ending would be sad for me. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and the next one we will pick up and go to Possoin to find Lady Furina. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!